Welcome to the presentation of keytech PLM. In this video I will introduce you in Concurrent Engineering with your CATIA and SolidWorks interface. After I have searched for a CATIA assembly, I can take a look onto the structure. In this case, this assembly contains some released parts. If you want to work with your CATIA models, you can use the function load to load the assembly into the CATIA application. Now I'm going to search for a SolidWorks assembly. I select the class 3D assembly and put in some additional information. After I have selected the assembly I've searched for, I can also take a look onto the structure. Now I'm going to load the assembly into SolidWorks. Once again, I use the function load to load the assembly to SolidWorks. After the assembly was opened in SolidWorks, I want to add one additional part. I will insert a part from the SolidWorks toolbox. I select the category bolts and screws and select the bolt I would like to add. With the SolidWorks standard functionality, I can place the bolts in my assembly. After I made my changes in the assembly, I can store the assembly back into keytech. For this step, I use the function keytech store all. Now keytech is scanning the structure and the store dialog is displayed. The toolbox part I have inserted is stored automatically by keytech. I want to create a new item for the toolbox part. I use the function new and enter the information for the mandatory fields. The item number should begin with ISO and the description should contain screw. To put in the information of the item, you can use the keytech lookup tables. After I have entered the information that is required, I click on the button OK. With the right mouse button functionality of the keytech context menu in the store dialog, I can assign the toolbox part to the item I have created. For the SolidWorks assembly I have changed, I will create new item and new document information. Once again, I put in the specific item information and confirm my entries with OK. The assembly is stored and the preview is refreshed. When we take a look into the structure now, we can see our toolbox part we have created before in the context of our SolidWorks assembly. I will load the toolbox part into SolidWorks and prepare it for the use with CATIA. I go to File, Save As, and select the file format IGES and store the part on a local file directory. SolidWorks is converting the file now. I switch to CATIA and open the file I have stored as IGES with SolidWorks before. In CATIA, I create a new product and add the existing assembly and the toolbox part as components. I move the toolbox part and place it in the context of my new assembly. After I created the new assembly and added the toolbox part and the existing assembly, I store the models back to keytech. The keytech store dialog comes up. Now I will search for the existing item of the toolbox part. I create a new document of the type CATIA parts that will be automatically linked to the item I have searched before. The toolbox part is stored and the preview is generated. For the top assembly, I create new item and document information again. I have to put in the required information, and after my confirmation the assembly is stored and the preview is generated. In the bill of material we see the two positions, the assembly and the toolbox part. If we take a look onto the structure now, we can see that the toolbox part was used in the context of CATIA and SolidWorks. Both formats are available in keytech now. Thank you for your attention.